Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fargonauts. It's your boy Eric Broadshow here with my other boys. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Boy Wilson.
Boy Tyler.
All right, those are my boys. Now, welcome to I said Fargonauts. This is Reel to Reel. Welcome to Reel to Reel. We're picking up. We're picking. I mean, it's on Fargonauts. We're still Fargonauts. Um, we're picking up our our series that we left behind over um, Super Summer Star Wars with us kind of picking up on something from one movie and the next person picking the next movie. I'm explaining that weird. Someone picks a movie.
Yeah,
one of us.
Connecting threads.
Yeah, connecting threads. The next person to pick a movie finds a thread that connects to the movie they pick. So it's my turn, and it has been for months. So this movie that we're doing is it's called A Prophet, or in the original, I think French was Un Prophète.
Oh.
Yeah. It is French, as I said. It is like
that the thread?
It's a. Yeah, that was the thread. Because in what was the movie we watched last? I Heart Huckabees.
Yeah, it should.
Right?
Been. Yeah.
Was it Huckabees?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Because you pick off of me, Wilson. So
I pick off of you just like a good
Yeah.
ring of pen.
I pick up.
This is a movie I've had in my pocket for a while, and was waiting for an opportunity to do it. And then in I Heart Huckabees, it had that one French lady in it, and I was like, boom, there it is. So there's my portal into it. So we don't need to guess what the connective tissue is.
It's French.
It's French. But I saw this, probably 2013? It was when I was living with my boy Chuck Crane. And this was one of the movies we watched. It's kind of a similar time to when I saw Dogtooth, probably. It's probably in that same sort of area. Came out in I think this movie came out in 2010. Maybe
9.
9. Okay. Or did I watch it for World? I might have watched it for World Film. I don't know.
Do you know what genre it is?
Hmm?
Do you know what genre it is?
I don't know what you call it, like crime or fucking prison.
Yeah, it's crime.
I'd say crime.
Crime drama.
So the
movie,
movie,
yeah.
just real fucking spark notes. It's about a guy who is, I think he's a Muslim dude.
Yeah.
At least has like an Arabic sounding name. And he gets sent to jail for something, and he basically gets in league with the Corsican mob.
Yeah, his name is Malik. Malik.
Yeah. And it chronicles his time during that and their collisions with the I think the Muslim like gang or mob in the jail too, if I remember correctly.
Corsicans.
But it's Corsicans are the one he's a part of. The Corsicans that's Italy, right? Or is that in France?
I'm not entirely sure. It was a while since I saw this.
That in like an Italian context.
I'm on it.
Of course.
Information boy is on it.
He's in a prison in Italy?
No, it's in France.
He's in France.
Okay, Corsica is an island in the Mediterranean Sea and is part of France. So it's kind of
interesting.
It's kind of like halfway between like France and Italy, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, it's very crime involved. It's pretty intense.
Kind of like a thriller, maybe.
Movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it in like shit since probably I watched it around that time. Let me see. A prophet. Un prophet.
Un prophet.
Un prophet.
I'm very
It's
down for a foreign film. It's
French prison crime. That's what it's called.
French prison crime.
French prison crime film.
wow.
It's kind of reminding me
Directed
of
by-
like when Wilson picked out Pelham. That
Yeah.
was a good crime, and this is
Yep.
and time crimes a little bit.
Time crime.
Time crime stays with you in a weird way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Was that the
It-
first time you guys
for
watched
me,
it?
I don't know about you guys, but I just
That was the first time you guys watched
Crime
that?
Cops.
Broucher,
You know?
was that the first time you saw that?
What, time crime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was both your guys' first time seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of chose it too, because it did stick with me. Because I think I stumbled on it on Netflix for just I was like, oh, this kind of looks interesting. Watched it, and then I was like, damn, that was kind of really concise. I liked it.
What a unique gem to like be able to just like stumble upon. Wow, that's great.
Yeah. And
This
this
film
was
was,
another one too, like a prophet. I remember there was some hype around the time when I watched it.
Yeah.
I've heard that name like Un Profeta before. Like I've heard that.
You might have, because I watched it and showed it to people a bunch, so like, you might have seen it back then.
It
But
like, it sounds familiar. Just the like general. This is a movie about crime called The Prophet, but
yeah,
past that, I don't know.
yeah. It's directed by Jacques Audiard. Audiard.
Cool. And yeah, all like unnames are people that I don't know, really.
No, I know nobody involved in this movie.
So it's kind of like Dogtooth in that respect too. You know, like I
Yeah.
like when we introduce each other to like these foreign films that we have no bearing of like who these actors are, or what's going on. So it kind of puts it in like a realm of like mystery already. Like I don't even
Well, yeah,
know what to take from
And
this
you can-
actor and this character.
it's easier to kind of immerse yourself that way too, because then you're not thinking about, oh, here's this actor. You know what I mean?
Oh, here, this character actor, he's playing this part.
There's I think that's all very true, and I think it also extends somewhat like culturally, depending on where the place is. Like for me, a good example was like Tokyo Vice, Tyler. Just watching
yeah.
that show, there are so many cultural differences between myself and the culture I grew up in and the one I'm seeing depicted, that it helps like me approach it with a fresh pair of eyes, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't have, I'm not like reading into like, oh, societal cues would tell me that this his female boss is no.
And like how their police is run by like, we don't report murders because we have a low murder rate here, and we don't want to
that's
like.
why they have a low
That's
murder rate,
why.
because they don't report it.
Yeah, they're like, okay, this is kind of a backwards way of
that-
doing it, but
that
sure.
Stands to reason, and I guess.
Yeah, good job.
I
on you
guess.
guys.
But that's like why I guess I'm saying I'm excited to watch a foreign film. I'm excited to see what parts of it outside of the filmmaker's idea for the film, what parts of it from his cultural differences are going to be brought to the film. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah,
Right.
Same. That's a good point. All right. Well, without further ado, do you want to kick it off and we watch it?
Without further
Let's go.
adieu,
Adieu.
further goodbye.
All right, here we go. And we'll be back after this and we'll discuss the film.
And now, our feature presentation.
All the
Sounds like Jiminy Cricket.
It's like a Yeah. It's like Neil Young and Jiminy. Jiminy Young.
And my keep has all their money.
He didn't take his PS2. Money. They must, like, the French must think this is popular in America, this kind of music.
No, I think this is just a this is probably a song that the director just listened to and liked and felt that it was appropriate to end his movie with. That's what it feels like. It feels very specifically chosen.
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot of the music choices seemed like that. Like I was when I first started hearing like something that was not score but the popular music of any kind. It was in English, and I was like, "Oh, I guess that's kind of curious that it's not French."
Yeah. Oh, is that Brocho? Did he wake up? I heard something. Oh, Brocho.
Hello?
Hello?
Eric.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's back.
He did it. We roused
What?
the beast.
Hello.
Yeah, I crashed.
All right, well, we finished it.
You came back at
Oh,
I guess the perfect time.
Yeah, that was great.
Belmont.
Hell yeah.
So that was The Prophet.
The Prophet.
It was kind of a story about a idiot becoming a criminal mastermind.
Yeah, he worked his way from the bottom, dude.
Yeah, from the bottom,
Yeah.
and he didn't even know how to read or write, but he knew what
Oh.
in and out meant.
Yep. Now he running things,
Now
dude.
he running the whole shebang, and he's got a convoy and everything. But yeah, I like prison movies where it's like, you know, they're always about escaping the prison. Most of the time,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'd like to see a guy that's good, but wrongly convicted, and he gets out, like The Fugitive. You know, like he's a good guy.
Right.
We know he's innocent. He breaks out. Or Shawshank. We know Andy Dufresne's a good guy. This dude becomes a bad dude in prison.
Yeah.
Like, he might have been an okay
Yeah.
dude just sitting in prison doing his time, but he just turns into the most, you know, corrupt dude.
Well,
Exactly. You see it slowly but surely
yeah.
start happening, and then all of a sudden it just keeps going and going, and you're like, oh shit, dude.
I wasn't sure at first if like what kind of prison movie this was going to be, what kind of journey
Mhm.
this guy was going to go on, but it was interesting that it wasn't really so much a morality tale. They didn't really comment, I feel like, too much on like what he was doing.
Yeah, they didn't really say like what all it meant, that like why he had to kill that guy in the first place. Like it just kind of stirred the pot a little bit.
Like
But you
clearly,
talking the first guy?
yeah, like obviously, clearly it affected him because he kept seeing him like after he had killed him. But I'm talking about like there's nobody in the movie that's like, oh, Malik, you're doing bad things. You're a criminal. You're on the wrong side of the law.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It was just that's how it is in this world.
Yep. Exactly. That's how it be. There's a lot of interesting bits where like music would cut out and it'd just be silent,
Mm-hmm.
or you get the weird surreal bits when he's having his little prophecy dreams and shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's seeing things through. I think he's seeing things through his mind's eye because it's only like one kind of circular
Mhm,
vision.
mhm.
So he's like seeing things in his mind. He's not like, or dreams, like his dreaming vision.
Well, there's that one specific time where like the old guy that he's been kind of the protege of like takes that spoon and digs it into his eye,
Yeah.
and then immediately like the scene like immediately after that where he's like ranting and raving, they do that vignette thing, and that's like the only moment where the vignette matches up with some practical reason in the movie for that to be happening. So that seemed specific, and like there was a message to that. And I get what you mean, like through his mind's eye, like there was so much of the surreal stuff. I would be curious to watch this again, and in moments like this right here, where he's having these little powwows with the dude that he killed.
Yeah.
Do those moments maybe foretell future events in a way, like where he's smoking and it's coming out through his neck? Is that maybe like foreshadowing of something?
Right.
No, it's where he sliced his neck at.
I know, and I'm saying that dreamy moment does that, if you were to watch the movie again and think about like more like prophetic type shit,
Right.
those weird moments, do they maybe have like moments later in the movie that like harken back to him in some esoteric way? Because there's moments where this feels very artsy. Me and Tyler were talking about like music choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like indie.
Yeah.
It's all in English. There's no like French language music.
Yep.
So it seems like a very purposeful choice on the part of the director to choose those songs in those moments.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is the scene.
Definitely. Any other
And-
thoughts, Ty? Oh, yeah,
I get-
Wilson.
I guess this moment is also like the turning point for him, kind of, where he
Yeah, here's
like
his
when he
mind's
like
eye
officially
here,
turns against this guy.
Right.
where the guy's talking to him, so it is his perspective staring at the bad
Mhm.
guy.
But it's also like, geez, like, what, like, what, metaphorically, you're blinded to the like true intentions of this person who's talking to you. You know, like they're being deceitful to you, and you can't see that. Your eye is fucking damaged. You know, like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the like, how much can you read into it, and how much will it make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
That part when you're winding through the, I guess that is what happens though. He does like leave the jail, and then later on, the deerts.
The deerts fly through the sky.
It's like Santa's reindeer.
Santa's reindeer. Yeah, maybe it's an allegory for Santa, because like the last scenes were at Christmas time and everybody's wearing Santa hats, and maybe the bad guy that was, corrupting our main character, he was Santa, and he had his little elves doing what he wants.
He was Santa's protege. He learned from the like previous Santa,
Yeah.
who's old man with
It's
a
like-
gray beard. Like
It's Popo Gijo. He's Popo Gijo.
Popo Shisho.
everybody knows the classic story of when Santa told one of his protege elf to fucking pretend suck somebody's dick so they could cut their neck with a razor blade.
Yeah, this is just my mind. Yeah. Go dark with it. And then kill all of his reindeer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a good flick. It holds up. It's interesting. Like I said, I like prison movies. And this one kind of tweaks it just a little bit. It reminded me of something that came out recently on HBO called The Night Of,
Oh sure.
with the what's that dude that played in Rogue One?
Mm-hmm.
The
I know exactly who you're talking
the
about.
pilot?
And, God, who's the lawyer? John Turturro.
John Turturro, yeah.
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed.
Mm-hmm.
Riz Ahmed was the main character in that, and what's his face from the Wire? Omar. He was in it too. He plays a bad guy in it, and well, he just plays, I guess, a inmate, but he teaches Riz Ahmed, how to survive in prison, how to deal with judges and things like that, like how to dress. And he kind of becomes more of a criminal in prison. In the prison system, you just kind of have to play by the prison system's games and become a criminal, because that's how you'd survive.
I mean,
So it's the corruption of the innocent too.
but is it corruption? Because I mean, so many times you see it depicted, at least, as like a system of, if you just try to keep your head down and do your time, you are, it seems, more likely to be a victim of the people who are like making active use of their time in there to congregate with others, get stuff going, whatever it may be.
Yeah, because then you get like little perks. You get, you get Coca-Cola, you get a fridge.
or you just get protection of like having other people around you that have your back.
Yeah, and
but the things you need to do to earn that, like, kind of enter you into that system.
right.
Is the, it seems to be like that fucking tale as old as time. You see it with it, just somebody enters crime for like one reason or another, and then they go down that path.
Right.
And there's David Byrne. I was like thinking that maybe this movie was going to be, okay, he's going to get established into life, he's going to move up at least somewhat. And he was saying that his like initial sentencing was only 3 years, right?
I think so.
So I was like, okay, well, he's probably going to get, he's going to get in with the players and the shakers and the movers, and then he's going to get out, and he's not going to know how to live a civilian life.
Right.
And the movie's going to be about that. And like, maybe he'll choose to go back to prison because that's just the life that he knows now.
Yeah, kind of like Trailer Park Boys, where it's like all my friends are in prison, so I get to play hockey and get away from the wives.
Sure.
That's just a kind of fun way of playing the prison system, and it's in like a Canadian prison where it's like, oh sure, yeah, you can come and go as you please.
What did we learn about Malik, or like Malik or whoever, but before he went to prison?
Yeah, nothing. He's kind of just like blank slate. He didn't know how to read. He didn't know who to talk to. He was stumbling over people. He's like, you want some hashish? And he's like, I'm not going to suck your dick. I'm not gay. And then he's just he's brought in by the group of bad dudes. And they're like, hey, kill this guy for us. And then you'll be under our protection. He's like, okay, I guess I gotta.
Well, he so much in the beginning of the movie when he's in prison, he's like trembling just because of like raw adrenaline or fear or whatever it is. He's like not able to handle it. And then the end of the movie, he's walking around there like he owns the place.
Yeah, because there is a lot of prejudice going on the side that he's on. Like this guy's saying, these guys are dumb over there. They're stupid idiots. You should hang out with me. I'm smart.
It seems like a lot of the conflict in this political whatever is like Corsican and the Arab community.
Yeah.
Like those are the kind of two opposing forces. The majority, it seems like, in prison there.
Yeah, like you were saying before we started, that you wanted to kind of see how the director portrayed their world in the film, and how it translates to you, and how like in Tokyo Vice, the different cultures and things like that. Like it seems like they're really combative in this part of the world with anybody that's foreign to them.
Yeah, and I do because I went to France in 2017, I think, and talking to some people there and not being from there, it was kind of relayed to me, and I did get the feeling a few times of not being welcome because I was not from there.
Really?
And there's so much here. Like the open windows
Mhm.
and there's a lot of this prison that's like open to the elements.
Yeah.
Even that's probably more of like a geographical thing. They have like nice enough weather year round to have that availability. But then also, this is a cultural thing too. The ritualistic consumption of coffee, and it's kind of like a it acts like a bridge. You know what I mean?
Cigarettes and coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of no matter who you are in this culture, that's like something that you do. The bread, that's another thing.
Yeah, that was a huge thing in this. It was just everybody walking around with big baguettes, which is
It's
so
cultural.
yeah, stereotypical, but yeah, it's part of the
I'm
culture.
I'm not sure where that comes from, and I'm not sure honestly like what that means to these people, and like why
And
it
some
sounds fucking
shaboonery
stupid.
grapes going on.
Why do French people eat that kind of bread? Why do they carry the customs that they do? And I think it just says a lot about like these people's personalities and how they live their lives, and how all of that informs why they choose to do crime and how they choose to go about it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and crime's different everywhere you go. But
Mhm.
there are some things that remain constant too, like your team,
Sure.
your group of people, the people that you can trust with valuable information and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that they showed that a lot in here. Like I need a guy who I can trust, and completely this guy was playing both sides, and he started to learn like I could benefit better. You know, when we started doing the hashish thing on the side, and he's like, "Do you want in on this?" And he's like, "No, no, 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 it's your business, your business, your business." He's like, "Oh, well, if I'm free to kind of do as I please, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna screw you over if I can."
Yeah, he like loaded the bullets in his own gun, kind of a thing, or like he handed him the fucking ammunition to take himself down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if because it's weird how it happened, where like it was perfect for all of what's the old guy's name? I'm gonna call him Mickey.
Sure.
It was perfect for all of Mickey's like friends, the Corsicans, to completely leave the prison, and that basically left him with nobody but Malik.
Yeah.
So at one time, it strengthened his position, and allowed him to be able to move up like that. But it also left that old guy like weakened, so that when it came time, he was in a perfect position to have himself be like taken over.
Yeah, he needed to keep his enemies a little bit closer, because when you divide like that, and then those eventualities where your team is just gone and they can't really help you, he's kind of at the whim of those people he's been fighting and calling, bad names, and saying these guys are idiots, they're dumb, like they're gonna come home to roost, and they're gonna take you down.
Yeah. And it also, I mean, maybe it's just like a power in numbers thing. Maybe he saw like the tides turning and like, oh, clearly I've got some kind of business going on that I'm successful with. And if I get myself in good with the Arab community and they accept me, I'll like, yeah, like join the more successful side.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that bread.
Look at that bread and that boxed wine. Just dipping that bread in the boxed wine.
There's so much about other cultures. For me, I think that movies should make you feel things and make you think things. If it's like anything other than just pure entertainment, right?
Yeah.
If it is entertainment for art and it's trying to say something, communicate something, whatever. If it's just more than entertainment, when there are cultural elements to me, basically in anything in life, it makes it more interesting, because the difference is help me reflect on my own outlook, my own culture, my own stance on things. Maybe helps me broaden my thinking, helps me like think of new things, and that's when you get those like aha moments, or you connect the dots, or you just have a new way of looking at things.
Yeah, I like how not just movies do that, but yeah, I like that, getting that perspective on things, like on media.
There's so much that comes through from people's heritage and their culture. And when you've got somebody like Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah.
I think that he's a pretty British filmmaker, I would say, from like other films that I've seen from British filmmakers. What I know about people who are British, seems like a pretty British dude from everything I know about him.
He's not British.
What? I thought he was.
No, he was born in New York, dude.
Whoa! Strike me silly.
But he definitely, I know what you mean, because he did hire a lot of British actors, and he did, I think he lived in Britain and he died in the United Kingdom. I think he married somebody maybe from Britain.
Yeah.
No, German maybe. I don't know.
I'm not surprised that I'm wrong, but I guess that does say a lot, though. But like, gosh,
I know exactly what you mean, because he has those British sensibilities in his films, and he did do like Paths of Glory, and I think that was about the Great War. I'm pretty sure, and then the Barry Lyndon was very British.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot about Clockwork Orange that's British. There's a lot about 2001 that's British.
Exactly. Yes.
But also like David Lynch, him with what is it, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia? It's Philadelphia, right?
Like where he sets his things.
Well, his outlook on that place.
It's everywhere. It's California. It's Mulholland Drive is definitely very Californian. Blue Velvet is very like
his
home, like a kind of center of the America.
Yeah, his like even his, I would say like his fascination with like Americana, like 50s, because he grew up in that era, and his focus on that says a lot about him, and I think that clearly influences his work, and
it does.
Yeah, it's just nice to see something like this, where it's a filmmaker I've never seen with a voice that I feel like I've not really seen other places.
Right.
Maybe shades of it. But this, for a prison crime movie, this is surprisingly tender in a lot of its depictions of things.
Yeah.
Is that weird to say?
Yeah, it's very, it has a good, like there's a good ending. If this was a video game and there's multiple endings, this is the good ending.
Sure.
And then I can already tell what the bad ending is and what the medium kind of ending. Like this was like maybe the harder ending to achieve because he had to play all the games. But then there's also the ending where like he's just also a pawn for the main bad guy, or there's the bad ending where he just dies.
Yeah, he just gets murdered somewhere along the way. It's like a misstep.
But yeah, this one definitely had the good ending, and he had things did go wrong, and he does have like probably a drug addiction and things like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I that's one more reason that I'd like to watch this movie, is to get a little bit more clarity on exact timeline, and like, just a little bit more clarity, because this is not by any means complicated, but I think with the editing sometimes and how surreal it can be, some of the finer details of crime, or like this dude's status within a criminal organization, get a little bit hard to follow.
Yeah, he definitely has everything. He has the tools. He learned everything he needs to in prison, so he's got the tools to just continue doing what he's been doing. So I can foresee him living a life of pretty organized crime, like pretty well off.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
He's got a lady, he's got a kid to look after, he's got a PS2, he's ready to fly.
Is that his lady though? I thought that was
It was
his friend's wife.
Yeah, he's helping. I think he's
He's just it's a lady friend.
they'll definitely probably end up being together and continuing the
Sure.
relationship, being like a surrogate dad to that kid. And,
Sure.
I mean, the whole convoy can, it takes a village.
The whole convoys are dads.
It takes a convoy.
Dad car 1, dad car 2, dad car 3.
We got this boy. We got the
3
future of
cars
this.
full of dads.
We got this convoy ready. We're here to rear your child.
Child rearing dads. 3 cars full of rearers.
But yeah, I think we'll leave it there because Broad shows he's a sleepy boy.
Yeah, he's a sleepy rearer.
Yeah, Bracho, any final thoughts real quick?
I enjoyed returning to this movie again. Yeah, it was just a blast.
And Wilson, do you have some ideas floating in your head for your next movie choice?
I mean, I know what I want to choose.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. I mean, that's all I needed to know.
Okay. There you go, bud.
So we'll leave it there and hope you guys liked A Prophet. If you've seen it, let us know in the comments. If you haven't, go check it out.
Yeah.
And
I hope that people, if they choose to listen to these podcasts, these movie discussions that we do,
mhm.
I hope that they do watch the movies just for their own entertainment.
Yeah.
And it would probably help to have a little context about the discussion, but yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy, everybody. Well, go watch A Prophet.
Go watch A Prophet.
Un Prophet.
Un Profeta.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Reel to Reel. Goodbye.
Have a wonderful movie.
Yes. Good movie.